UCLA, dude, what was the culture like there?
The culture was really cool. Like, I always compare it to like Berkeley to Cal because I got into both, and so they're both like really, really good schools. But when I visited the campuses, like UCLA, it's in LA, it's a beautiful campus. Everyone seemed just like very like lively and like happy, and like they're students, they're stressed, but everyone just seemed like excited to be there.
Yeah.
And then I went to Cal to visit, and everyone just looked like sad. It was gray and rainy. I got yelled at by like a homeless man. There was a drum circle where like everyone was drumming at their own beat. None of them were together. Like it was just very stereotypical. But yeah, no, at UCLA it was like in high school I was, you know, like not to brag, but I was one of the smartest people in the school.
Really, were you like in the top? Were you not like victorious, but like in the top? Okay.
Yeah, so I was. There's like 700 in our class, and I was like 7th.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah. And so I got a B plus my freshman year, so that kept me from that top 6.
Oh, okay. Still.
But yeah, but at UCLA, like, so in high school, like, yeah, I was like one of the smartest kids, but at UCLA, every student was the smartest kid at their high school.
Yeah.
And so you kind of were forced to like develop a personality that wasn't just like studying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I learned, I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm actually not super smart. Like I am totally average here.
My grades don't define me here, really.
Exactly. Yeah. It became like I worked hard, but I wasn't really concerned like about getting straight A's. It was just about like passing my classes.
Yeah.
And just kind of following through and doing what I needed to do, but also like having fun. Everyone there was really healthy and really into like fitness and sports.
Oh, okay.
And I never really was, because I've always been like really like clumsy and just bad at stuff.
Oh, me too, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And the worst thing is I'm tall, so I'm like 5'9". So people and like PE coaches would always assume that I was going to be good at sports, or like, oh, you should do like basketball or volleyball. Yeah. And then I'd start playing and you just see like their faces drop. So it was so bad.
I remember I stopped being good at sports when I was 12, because everyone reached their height, and you know what I mean? Everyone got their spurt, and I was still like,
oh no.
Yeah, I was still like a little kid. So
yeah.
Like, I remember I was always like the fastest kid in my class.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that all of a sudden I was like, oh, now I'm like not even in the top 10 anymore.
Oh no. Yeah. I feel like for a while in like elementary and middle school, it's always like those like tiny kids were always super fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but then you know once they get the legs, once they got legs, you're like, all right, like. So in high school, you were saying that you were like super, like all about school, right?
Yeah, no school. It was all like AP classes, and then I did speech and debate, and I was speech and debate like captain.
Okay.
So that was my sport. That was like, and we just talked.
Yeah.
That's the talking sport.
Is that what got you into like comedy and stand-up?
It's not what got me into it, but I honestly think it helped me a lot. Because I've always liked comedy. Like I grew up, you know, listening to stand-up or watching stand-up specials. My dad always really liked comedy. And so speech and debate, you just really learn how to like talk in front of people in a way that's like listenable. So you're not just like awing and umming the whole time. Yeah. And it really takes away that fear of talking in front of people. And it teaches you how to like improvise and think of things on the spot. And so when I did start doing comedy, like it was actually kind of surprising where I'm like, oh shit, like speech and debate really got me ready for this.
What was your first experience with it? Like how
with comedy or speech and debate?
With comedy.
So like as far as starting stand-up or listening?
Yeah, starting it. Like,
gotcha. So last year in like the summer, like August, September, I was kind of feeling depressed and like really not enjoying work and just feeling pretty low and really like just like stagnant, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I was on Instagram, and a podcast I liked was advertising that they were going to do a live show at this theater in LA called Pack Theater. Oh, the podcast is Last Podcast on the Left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was like one of their side shows was going to do a show at Pack Theater in LA. So I went on Pack Theater's Instagram, and they were advertising classes they did. And one of the ones they did was a stand-up class that would meet for like 6 Saturdays, 3 hours each Saturday.
Yeah.
And like I just needed something to do, and I'm like,
a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, like I've always been interested in stand-up. And so I'm like, why don't I just take this class? And I don't know why, but I had it in my head that like if you don't start doing stand-up when you're 18, like
you're not gonna be,
you can't do it. You have to decide like you're in Hogwarts or something. Like you have to choose your path. Yeah. And so I feel like in that class, like we were made to go to open mics. Like our homework was to like go do open mics and perform. And I feel like that spoke to the part of my brain that like works well in school, where I'll do the assignment. Yeah.
It seems like, oh, okay, your first experience was through schooling.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so I did that class.